Hi, my name is Steven Swartz. I'm with Indigenous Wellness Training Society, and this is.
My name is Myra Konkin. I'm from Prince George, BC. I am going to be 60 years old, September 28th. I've my band is Kissikus in Saskatchewan.
Can you tell me about spiritual, emotional, physical realms from that form a healthy person and community?
Okay, well, you know what? I actually went through. I'm going through the Sixties Scoop right now,
Okay.
and that has a lot of hurt in my heart for that. Um, I it's been a long journey for me. I grew up in foster homes, and each foster home was very abusive and neglecting, and because I was Native, and it was hard. I didn't understand what being Native was. I got bullied at school, but I stood on my own. I stood on my own ground because I stood up for my sisters as well. It's a lot of hurt, a lot of trauma. And yes, I know that my mom went to residential school. So I didn't really get to know my mom before she passed away. But
Yeah.
I know that she was a beautiful person, a human being.
So, Myra, when you talk about growing up in a foster home, was what was the parents like? The foster parents were what religion were they?
Um, One of them was Poland, and the other one was I don't, I just white.
Okay, was there other children that were in the home too? Like,
Yes, the one there was one girl. She was white. She got treated like a little princess. And then there was me and my sister, and we were we were like Cinderella, you know,
so
doing all the work and yeah.
so the native children were treated differently
Oh
than
yeah,
than the white children.
most definitely.
How old were you when you first went into foster?
2.5.
2.5 years.
2.5. And then the day that I was told I no longer existed for being a part of the ward of the court, they phoned me and said, "You're on your own," and that was it.
What did you do in those times? Like, how did that, or how were you able to proceed with living life? After feeling made felt that way, or being told that for so long.
Well, I got pregnant at an early age when I was 15, and I think with me having my daughter at that young of age, it saved me because it's been a long journey for me. And like I said, if I didn't have my daughter at that young of age, I don't know where I don't. I think I'd be 6 feet under.
So having your daughter has been able to show you life again. Like,
Yes, yes, it did. And starting, like, I was never shown love or shown respect or anything like that. So I learned how to do that on my own, and I swore I would never ever bring my children up the way I was, and I never have, never will.
so you're bullied a lot in the foster home.
Um, Sometimes in the foster home, but basically at school, because in those days, in the 70s, 60s, there wasn't very many Native people around in Prince George, but when it did happen, I'd always have to stand up for my sister because I didn't want her. I saw what she went through in the foster home getting beaten. I didn't want her getting beaten outside of the home, you know.
Do you think today might be a different way of life for you if these things didn't happen?
Oh, of course it would be. I would be more cultural. Like, I feel like I've missed the majority of my life growing up and knowing my family, my heritage. Yes, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
What do you think as us as First Nations, what can we do to heal from the past? Like going through the 60 Scoop, going to residential school. What helped you, and what do you think would be good for First Nations?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Over the years, I've gone for counseling. And every time I've had a counselor, I've learned, let's just say I don't really trust people in government. And it's been a big disappointment. The last counselor I went and saw, it was at the hospital, and I went and saw her, and I told her about my foster parents, what he was doing, and she says, well, you know, I have the legal right to phone the RCMP right now. I got really upset with her, and I basically threw everything off her desk, and I said, how dare you? I said, I come in here for you to have me trust you and tell you certain things, and this is how it happens. I was very, very upset. And she says, you are right. We should tell people when they come in what happens when you say certain things, because they could have charged him. And I said, well, it's too late. Charge him. He's dead anyways. But for what you did to me, you lost trust in me from just saying that. And counseling never really helped me. It never did, because I learned not to trust people. And my counseling is talking to my sister.
Was there so when you were younger, was there any sort of ways to heal? Like, was anybody out there to help or support you and going through the things that you were doing, other than maybe a counselor?
I would go to my friends, my friends that I knew were my friends that I could talk to, and they would understand. And even though they're white, they would understand, because we were the same age, and we understood each other, you know. But I did go to my high school counselor, which I thought me and my sister had a bond with her. And when we told her, she got hold of ministry, and ministry went to the house I was in, and they totally denied everything. So, and she was voted Mother of the Year. So it just shows the disbelief I've had.
Yeah, for instance, like, say, like, with the people that you working with or you helping with, is there Indigenous people down there?
Oh, yes. Yes, there is. See, I work at a job where I work with the homeless people, and a lot of them are Indigenous and white too. But it's really sad just to seeing how they are and what they're doing. And, you know, I mean, when I applied for that job, they said, how do you feel about the homeless people? I said, I have not a problem with them. I said, I grew up as on the streets as a child as well. You know, from the time I've been 12 years old, I've been on my own. You know, I started hitchhiking when I was 5. I got raped when I was 5. And it's been a long journey for me.
What helps you heal? What helped you heal? Or have you...
Nothing's ever really helped. Nothing helps you ever heal over it. You know, as long as I have my sister and we talk about it and we hold each other, that's my healing, is having my sister with me.
So as First Nations yourself, dealing with the First Nations on the street, how do you think that, you know, you as a frontline worker could help them?
Well, you know what? I share parts of my story with them, and they're amazed. They're like, really? And I go, yes, I understand what you're going through. I love my job. Some people are there just for the paycheck, but I'm not. I'm there because I want to be there. And it shows how I work. And my clients could tell because they sit there and watch, and I've been there for over 8 years, and they're like family to me. I've had
Mm-hmm.
clients there that are so quiet that I get them to open up when I sit down and I start talking to them about my story.
Yeah.
So they're
So
like,
they can see they
yeah,
can see the respect you have for them.
yes.
Do you think that the company you work with and stuff would be open to having more Indigenous things happening to help the people?
I think they might. I really do, because right now we have a new manager, a new head manager, and things are going to change, I know it, for the good. I'm not saying the last one, she worked there 36 years and she did an amazing job. But this one's a new one, so
Change is good.
yeah, change is good. I've also let my grandchildren and my great grandchildren know what their grandma has gone through. You know, just so that they understand, and I just don't want them making the mistakes that I did growing up. I mean, I ran away a lot from my home because I was abused.
So when you're talking about your family or your children, like have they suffered from addiction or alcoholism?
Yes,
Have they?
yes.
To what extreme, like, and what kind of levels, like, just minor or pretty serious?
Pretty intense. Yes. I've saved my son twice from ODing.
Does that come back on you for like maybe something that maybe you didn't show them or didn't know how to show them or teach them or like when they're kids growing up or any time of their life?
Well, you know what? When he was growing up, like I said, he grew up with his grandparents, and I got him every weekend. We were always close and watching him grow up, but seeing him going through the addiction that he went through, it was hard. It still is, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's supposed to be, you know, recovered, but he never recover from it. But one day at a time.
So we're talking about the 60 Scoop and what you talked about today. What would you do for your self-care?
My self care. Talk
Yeah,
about it. To talk about it.
yeah.
That's what my self care is. Is talking. The more I talk about it to my family, and it heals me.
Hmm.
But it never will get healed. I'll never heal from what has happened, and you know, the 60 Scoop is I just find it very let's just say the class action suit for the which one is it,
Which
for the
one?
residential school.
Hmm.
They got paid way before we did, and now we're still waiting after since 2019. I know because of the pandemic and that, but it's frustrating for a lot of us. Just I just don't think that the 60 Scoop did it in the right way, where they can heal or help the survivors. It's especially with the payments, a lot of people are so upset about the payments. Why waiting all these, like we got in June 2019, we got paid our 21,000 for people that were accepted, and now we're still waiting for $4,000, and we've been waiting like this forever. And then when the residential school came, last year, everybody's gotten paid, and we're still waiting for our money. And a lot of frustrating 60 Scoop people.
How do you think we can, future generations can endure this?
by learning from your elders. You know, like from me, like I said, I talk to my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and talk to them so that that cycle does not ever happen again.
What words of wisdom would you have for our people and how to heal and how to walk a journey?
I guess would be to pray. Pray and have each other's backs. Learn how to be more open and be there for one another.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, thank you very much for your time and your words. Maybe Steve can smudge you or cedar brush you before you leave. It's part of letting go too, as well.
Okay, thank you. It was nice meeting you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right on, thanks.
Bye.